Welcome to my class, and this class will be dedicated to summary writing. Now we all have certain tension while we have to write a summary, because how to shorten a big passage into a concise part of the main passage, that actually makes us anxious while we write summary or we intend to write a summary. But if we follow some basic steps of summary, it becomes a very easy job, and summary writing is a very important part as far as the writing skill on any particular language is concerned. So, what exactly a summary writing is? So, to write a summary of a passage or a poem is to give its essence or the purport. Of course, nothing important or relevant is to be omitted. Now, the purpose of a summary is to give the reader a condensed and objective account of the main ideas and the features of a text. Usually, a summary has between 1 and 3 paragraphs or 100 to 300 words, depending on the length and the complexity of the original essay or the passage and the intended audience and purpose. So, what is summary writing then? So, summary writing is a concise reproduction of the original passage. It is in one's own language. It should be written in one's own language as far as possible, and it should be written in a manner to make it read like the original passage. Now, how to write a summary? We need to follow some basic steps for writing a summary. The original passage is to be read carefully and attentively. Reading may be continued till its complete sense is clearly understood. So you have to read the summary many times, so that you will be able to get the whole idea, the basic idea of the passage. Then, the main or important points, facts or ideas in the passage are to be noted and marked. You need to mark with underlining the main points, the main words. Okay. Then, the proper sequence or order of those points, facts or ideas is to be found out. You need to locate the main ideas, the main points, the main facts. So in this respect, you will be able to find the central point or the basic idea. That is the very primary thing that you need to do while writing a summary. Thereafter, the relation of other points, facts or ideas, they are to be noted and arranged. When there is no central idea or leading idea in a passage. Sometimes you will find a passage where there is no central idea or no leading idea. So there you need to maintain the simple sequence of order of different points, facts or ideas. So there, where there is no central idea or when there is no leading point in a particular passage, you need to understand and you need to find out the sequence or the line or the serial of the main facts or points or ideas. Unimportant or non-essential matters are to be dropped and omitted. Unnecessary details, comparisons, figurative expressions and qualifying words are not required. So in a summary, sometimes if it is not required, you can omit or you can ignore the adjectives that has been used. The passage that is to be produced, this reproduction of the summary of a given passage, that must be what? That must be concise, clear, and in a proper sequence of facts and ideas that should be connected, and most importantly, that should be written in one's own words. The language of the summary should be clear, pointed, and correct. So what are the 6 requirements in writing summary? First, reading and understanding. 2, selection. 3, sequence. 4, elimination. 5, reproduction. and 6. Clarity and correctness. I repeat, 1. Reading and understanding, 2. Selection, 3. Sequence, 4. Elimination, 5. Reproduction, and 6. Clarity and correctness. So, what are the basic steps while writing a summary? First is the introductory sentence. An introductory sentence for a summary, often they do what? They often state the author and the text's title. Next, what are the main points of the original text? These restates the main points that the author has conveyed. 3. Supporting arguments. Here you list the arguments that support the author's thesis or the main idea. Then 4. The final point. Here you conclude the summary with the final point from the author. Now, while writing a summary, you need to remember certain things. Just like you have to follow the basic steps that you need to know while writing a summary, there are often other peripheral points that are also important. Just like there is no hard and fast rule regarding the length of the summary, unless any word limit has been mentioned in the instruction. If there is a word limit given in the instruction, then you need to follow that. Otherwise, there is no hard and fast rule. Actually, the length of the summary depends upon the mode of writing and the nature of the passage. When short and simple sentences are used, the length of a summary may be a bit more. In case of complex sentences which are much more loaded, these complex sentences, when they are used, the summary becomes a bit shorter. Again, summary is much shorter in the case of reflective passages, but in the case of a narrative or descriptive passage, this is a bit longer. There are basically 3 types of passages, prose or verse, which are generally given for summarizing. They are 1. Narrative, 2. Descriptive, and 3. Reflective. Tense of the passage is very important. You should maintain the tense that has been there in the main passage. Okay. Now I will give you an example of a summary writing that you can see here. A passage has been given, and this passage has 179 words. Now this passage actually talks about the variety in life, and it says variety is the spice of life. Is it not? We all practically live and strive for having better food, but food remains insipid without the addition of spices. So life has been described, has been compared to a food, and the variations, the varieties in life are just like the spices of life. The absence of variety makes life drab and monotonous. A man working 6 hours a week will have his rest on Sunday. So it's about life, the variety in life, what happens when there is no variety in life. All these things has been described. Then in the second paragraph, the passage says he used to change his residence pretty often, and about a poet's longing for novelty. Life is many stringed instruments, and so has been written about the spice of life. Now in this main passage there are 179 words that you can see here, that has been displayed. Now when we write a summary of this passage, we need to give a title. So what is the title? The title can be The Need for Change and Variety. That can be a title of the summary. The Need for Change and Variety, or Variety colon, then the subtitle, The Spice of Life. And how do we need to write a summary of this passage? We will write variety is the spice of life, comma, and without it, comma, life is dull and monotonous. We have used a compound sentence here. In the next line we will write to develop civilization, new circumstances and a new environment are necessary. Then there is a reference of Tagore here. So we will use Tagore because this is a very important point in the passage. Tagore was a poet who changed his residence often, showing his longing for novelty. Life is a many-stringed instrument, and we must give proper attention to all the strings. Now, this is a summary of that big passage of 179 words, and here we have written a summary of only 54 words including the title. So while writing a summary, you need to read the passage many times so that you will be able to grab the main idea, the main point, and then you have to write a concise version of that main passage in your language, in your own words as far as applicable, maintaining the tense of the main passage. One who can write a summary with expertise is considered as a person who has a good command over that particular language. So, here I end my class. Thank you.